Are you back so soon? Off you go downstairs. Just for 2 minutes. Go on, off you go. Bye. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is basically a follow-on from the video that you would have seen, or maybe would have seen on Wednesday, when we showed you guys our little renovation of my wardrobes. It took 3.5 days, it cost under £200, so I'd say that's relatively inexpensive. And as you can see, they are now very dark, very different. And today my task, because today is the 30th of December and tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and we potentially have people staying in our spare room, of which currently, I'll show you in a minute, but the entire contents of my wardrobe is stacked onto the spare bed. So I have quite the tight time frame and a bit of a deadline to get all of my stuff back inside these wardrobes. And as always, I'm going to film the process because I know you guys like to watch and like to see, you know, how I, because I'm going to do like a mini clear out, so I know you guys like to see how I clear out my wardrobe and how I organise everything. So, first things first, let me just show you the state of the spare room, just so that you get the whole picture of what's going on today. Okay, here we are, next door. Oh wow, as you can see, no one can sleep in that bed. So this is the reason that we need, or that I need, to get cracking with this today. I've got all my handbags on the floor, some on here, and then this is all of the jackets, jeans, trousers, jumpers, t-shirts, scarves, everything is still on the hangers. So actually I'm thinking this shouldn't be that difficult to get back into these bad boys today. So I'm basically just going to start off with like assessing my space, because in this wardrobe here I've added an extra rail at the bottom there, so I'm just going to try and figure out and kind of place some garments in certain areas to see where I want certain things to go. Right, so as you can see, I've just been having a bit of a play around with placement of like each category, if you will. And I think in this one I'm going to keep it exactly as I had it before. So up on the top, this is where all my blazers are going to go, and that rail is best for that. A, because of the distance and the drop that we've got, and B, because I have this central support bracket there as well. So obviously blazers are a lot heavier than shirts and knitwear, so I figure that that is the better option because this rail doesn't have the support bar in the middle. And then over on this side, this was my plan all along, to use my clippy hangers and to clip my denim this way and to have 2 rails instead of 1, so that I don't get the bendy rail, which is exactly what happened over in this wardrobe when it was, you know, before we did the renovation. Now this was my other option, because obviously having your trousers and jeans folded in half on a clip like this is going to be a bit of a nightmare. Well, not a nightmare, but it's just going to be a bit of a faff every morning when I want to get dressed. I'm going to have to steam out those creases. However, by doing it this way, by folding them over just a normal coat hanger, you don't really have that issue. However, I'm going to put them on there, and there we see the issue. So I also don't have enough of these hangers to do that with. So for now, I'm just going to clippy them. I'm going to trial it for a couple of weeks and see how I get on. If it's going to be a bit of a problem having them kind of getting all these creases and marks in the trousers, then I will probably invest in some trouser hangers, which are higher like this, so we don't have this issue. But it does just involve threading them over a bar rather than clipping them like so. So now I'm just going to start popping everything back in the wardrobe, and I'm going to make some piles as well, more than likely on the bed, which are going to be kind of yes, no, maybes. Right, I think I have successfully managed to do my jeans and they look really good. I feel like it looks like a shop which makes me so happy because that just makes life so much easier for getting dressed. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to try all these clippy hangers. I've got a feeling they're going to be a bit of a ball ache, but we'll see. So we've got light wash jeans, like one pair of cream, and then light wash to one random pair of dark wash because it upset my balance, and then all of the dark blacks on the bottom, trousers, and obviously mainly denim mixed in together. Now I'm going to start filling up this one, and then the last thing I'm going to do is all my accessories. And as you can see, I haven't stuck anything back on the doors yet because I'm just going to assess what I exactly need. Okay, as you can see, these wardrobes have come along quite nicely. So I've got the same as before, blazers and shorter jackets like my Saint Laurent peacoat along the top rail, and then along the bottom rail I've got some t-shirts which I just use for layering at this time of year, shirts, and then from here onwards that is all knitwear because that is what I wear at this time of year in the winter. I wear it at home, I wear it out and about, I wear several knitwears all in one go, so that is why I have a rather hefty amount. So that is looking pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is move on to this side again, and this is where I'm going to start doing the accessories, which are always going to go in these sections here and this shelf along the top. Right, so as you can see, I have managed to do my handbags thus far, and I've actually gone in colour order, which is not something that I usually do with handbags. I normally go in like size and usability, but I've gone for colour order, seeing as everything else in my wardrobe is in colour order. So obviously we've got black along the top. That's very aesthetically pleasing to me. And then a couple of black ones there, blue, and then onto the more of the neutral tones. And then this box down at the bottom is my wardrobe SOS kit. It's basically got lint rollers, shoe stretchers, debobbler, cashmere comb, all of the necessities in there. Now, I have these. These are my little wire baskets, which I got from H&M Home a few years ago. They were black. I sprayed them gold. As you can see, the black is probably, or the gold is starting to rub off in some places. And these house my sunglasses. And actually, they're really handy because they fit them in perfectly. I'm just not sure that now that we've painted this and spent so much time making it almost immaculate, as you can see, there were a few issues that we couldn't get rid of. I'm just not sure if I want to start putting stuff on the doors, and I know I've banged on about putting things on the doors because it utilises space, but I'm just not sure. So I'm going to have some lunch and I'm going to have a little think, and then I'm going to come back to this situation. Right, I am back from lunch and I have made a little bit of progress. So in here, I haven't actually decided what to do with these baskets yet. So they're still there. But up here on the top denim rail, I have added in my scarves, my winter scarves, because these are worn daily. Obviously not all of them in one go, but I do wear a scarf daily, so it's a good idea for me to have them like to hand, and I figure if they're next to my accessories, then that's kind of like the last step of getting dressed. So that's where they've gone. Haven't figured out where I'm going to put my hats and gloves yet. They're still in the spare room. I'm thinking perhaps some sort of like box, and they could go on the bottom of there maybe. Not decided. Still undecided on these. So whilst I've reached a bit of a mental blank, I'm going to start on this pile on here. most of which is actually summer stuff, or what I would deem as sort of spring summer stuff. As you can see, there's a lot of like Breton stripe t-shirts, which for some reason I do still have in my wardrobe. I think that's because I did a really early autumn winter switch over. I did it in like September because I just couldn't wait, and so obviously it's still warm in September, so I think that's why I still have some of these items in there, and these very summery bags. So I'm gonna take them out and pop them into like these storage tubs down here, which is where all my spring summer stuff goes, and then just have a sort through these piles and just fold everything nicely in preparation for going in the tubs. I've enlisted a helper because I've decided to put my gold to ruin the doors.
Spent 3 days doing these, now you ruin them.
I have decided to put the baskets back on the doors because they are very functional, and I use them every day when I go and get my sunglasses. So Simon's helping, he's doing the holes and the screws. Are they level?
Yeah,
They better be.
I'll get it.
That's alright.
Thanks for your help.
That's alright. What are you tutting for? That doesn't sound good.
They are level as long as you don't move them.
Okay. Very good job. Okay, thanks to Simon, my little tray basket things are now on the walls. I've got my Ray-Bans in here, Celine's, Lisbeck's, and these are all like high street sunglasses in there. And then in here I've got my silk scarves. So that side now is pretty much, oh no wait, it's not. So these are my belts. I have 3 belts, which is quite unlike me, seeing as I'm quite excessive with everything else, and I just need to get a bigger gold hook, which I might actually get from H&M Home because they have some slightly more like ornate decorative ones, to pop in the side here, and that way my belts are with all of my trousers and bottoms. My next task is to just pop some of my storage tubs, which I have a couple here, up in, I'm just going to do this top section on the right hand side because, as you would have seen in Wednesday's video, this one needs some rendering doing because we pulled away a lot of the plaster. So that one we're going to keep empty for a moment, but this one I can fill with my storage tubs. I can't actually feel my back. Actually, that's a lie. I can feel my back and it is throbbing. It's like whoa, whoa, whoa. But they're finished. Should we have a little look? It's not much different to when you last saw them, but I'll do a final grand tour anyway. So as you would have seen in Wednesday's video, this is the final product of the outside renovation. You might be able to see, those of you who are super observant, can you see right up there near the coving? We did some paint touch-ups this morning. There's another one. There it is, that splodge down there. Did some touch-ups this morning, and unfortunately the paint has dried a different colour. So we think it's potentially because we didn't mix it, like didn't stir it. So we're going to touch those bits up with a roller anyway. But anyway, this is the finished product, and I'm not gonna open up these top ones because you know that there's just storage tubs up there. But if we have a look in this one, this is my favourite one because it's got shelves and stuff. There it is in all its grand glory. Wardrobe number 1, all colour coordinated, all looking lovely, and all with plenty of space. And yeah, I'm really chuffed with that. Now, next one, let's open this one and have a look. My job well done. Of course, some credit must go to Simon as well. There we go. So a whole lot of blazers and a whole lot of knitwear. Of course, this will all look different come spring, summer, and as per usual, I'll record that. But for now, guys, here it is, my final finished wardrobe renovation, complete with my actual wardrobe. Now we have to crack on with the rest of the room, and as you will know, my shoes go over here on shelves, which are obviously a double obviously taken off at the moment so that we could paint all this section. So the next task now is to crack on with the rest of this room, which, as you can see, we've been swatching there. Need to paint the bed, got to do lots of other bits and bobs, paint. And yeah, so that will basically be in the next video, I would imagine, and you'll kind of see what's going to happen with the shoe wall. But for now, I'm going to bid you all farewell. Thank you very much for joining me on this journey of my new wardrobe, as thrilling as it is. And yeah, I will see you next Wednesday for the next video and our next lot of, I don't know, progress in the renovations.